Hi everyone, thank you so much. It's great to be here today. And I'm just so grateful that, as Shelley said, you know, that we've come together and we are coming together, continue to come together. At the beginning of 2020, I'm sure that nobody thought we'd be ending it like this, you know, doing our Christmas shopping in the midst of a pandemic. Or are we? I don't know. We're in the middle of something. A pandemic and a lockdown, and this is not what I envisaged for 2020, and I'm sure it's not for you either, but the good thing about this is it means that we're now on the way to a new future. Well, before they did this, you know, we were just bundling along in their plan, doing what we were doing, and there wasn't enough cause to get out on the streets and say no, and it was kind of all sneaking in, whereas because of lockdown, because they went all out, and because they've ruined people's lives, livelihoods, killed people, elderly people, children in care homes, suicide, depression, you know, we've actually stood up and we've said no, and this is actually a massive, massive bonus for us. We've got to recognise that actually there's a positive here, because when we get out on the other side of this, we can have a new future, a new way of being. We don't have to carry on like this, and this has given us the movement and the momentum and the inspiration to all get together. So as most of you, I don't know, I hope some of you know that I run Save Our Rights. I started this on the 16th of April, the day that they extended lockdown. And I did this because I'd worked in politics. I'd gone into politics bright-eyed and with hope and encouragement, and thought, I can go into politics and I can help, I'll make a difference, and I'll be able to do something good. And I got in there and I realised that the system is just so corrupt. And the system is not made for the people. We've got to remember that the political system was made hundreds of years ago by rich and powerful people to keep the rich and powerful rich and powerful. You know, it wasn't made for me, it wasn't made for you, it wasn't made to serve the people, it was just to keep them in control and in power. And that is what it's done, and they want to maintain that, and they want to keep that, and they want to gain even more power, more control, and more money. And so that's what they're doing, and I knew as soon as I saw this lockdown that they were going to use this. Politicians love a crisis. It's their favourite thing. It gives them so much freedom to do as they please. And as we've seen, they're bringing in so many other laws, not even related to COVID. You know, we've got the Covert Human Intelligence Bill, the Online Harms Bill, the Overseas Operations Bill. Like, there are so many bills going through Parliament right now that people just aren't even paying attention to, not to mention Brexit. So we've got to take note, and we've got to stand up, and we've got to really pay attention to what they're doing and what they're sneaking in. And that's what I kind of try and share in Save Our Rights and keep an eye on, because we've got problems not just COVID and lockdown, but what we also have, like I say, is we've got a solution, and we've got people, and we've got a movement now. You know, where we've come to now from where we were in April is huge. You know, people are taking notice of us. You know, people are listening to what we say. People are realising that we're actually telling the truth, and we've got a point. And that's what we want. We just want freedom. Either we live in a free society or we don't. Like, there is no in between. You can't be a bit free. Like, you can't just be a bit free but not free this way. Like, either we're free or we're not. And I'm personally not going to stop until we're completely and utterly free. And in the meantime, you know, we've got to protect ourselves. And so one of our big campaigns at the moment is we are campaigning for what we've called a medical freedom bill. So this is a bill that we're proposing that Parliament passes about not discriminating against people who don't have the vaccine. Because this is one of our biggest issues in the short term. You know, long term we're going to have a bigger, longer fight on our hands, but in the meantime we need to be protected. So we're calling for a medical freedom bill, because the government don't give us our rights and freedoms, they're there to protect them. That is actually their job. And so when it's threatened, when it's being threatened by companies, by airlines, by workplaces, who are trying to take away our medical freedom by insisting on testing, insisting on mask wearing, insisting on vaccines, then it is the government's duty to step in and take proactive measures to protect its people. That is what it's meant to do. And so we are calling for a medical freedom bill. We've got letter templates you can send to your MPs. We've got an open letter to Boris that you can sign. And interestingly, this has been picked up internationally more than it has been here, because all the other countries are watching. All the other countries haven't got the vaccine yet and are kind of watching what's happening here. And so I've had French TV companies, I've had Swiss TV companies, I've had the New York Times all kind of going, what are you guys doing? And they want it there too. And this is what we need. We need an international movement, because this is a global issue. It's not just a UK problem, this is a global problem. So I'm really grateful that it's been resonating with people in other countries as well. But so we need more support. Please do go check it out. It's on the saveourrights.uk website, and if you click on Take Action on the homepage, then you can be part of and you can share it from there. And it's one of the big things that we really need. But long term, you know, we've got to look at what the government have done this year, and as far as I can see, it's tantamount to a crime. What they've done is criminal. They have lied, they have used facts, they have used figures, they have used PCR tests which are invalid, and they have used it all to lock us down and change and ruin our lives. And that, as far as I can see, is nothing short of criminal. So we've got another campaign called Misfeasance and Misconduct in Public Office. And so we are gathering evidence, and people can use our evidence bundles to go report the government to the police. And we would encourage as many people as possible to do this. Go report the government to the police, use our evidence bundle, and for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. And so we guide you on how to fill in the victim form as well, because we are the victims. Each and every single person here is a victim of the government's actions. And you can fill them in for your children. So like I myself could fill in 5 victim forms, one for me and each of my children. And that's 5 crime reference numbers that they would need to issue. Because we've got to make a stand, and we've got to get this in, because one of the things that I found when I got arrested in London was that I spoke to the police and they don't know. They don't get it. They were told that they're doing what they're doing to save lives. And I spoke to the police for a long time in the van, and we got to the arresting centre and he was like, we're told that we're doing this to save lives, but like you say, lockdown's killing people. And I'm like, yes, lockdown is killing people. I don't understand why that's so difficult to understand. Like for me, it's just so simple. Like, how can you support any legislation that kills the most vulnerable in the society? How can anybody sleep at night supporting that and enforcing legislation that does that? So the good thing about this Misfeasance in Public Office criminal reporting is that it gets the evidence into every police station that it's taken to, and they have a duty to investigate it and read the evidence. So they might want to not want to look at it online, they might not want to partake in that, but if we bring it to them, they can't ignore it. So I'd highly recommend you do that. That's also on the saveourrights.uk website under Take Action. And we're just going to keep campaigning, and we're going to keep taking action, and we're just gathering numbers. And before the end of the year, we'll be launching a new social media site as well, which will be free from censorship, free from control, and free where you can all speak and not be censored, not taken down. Groups won't be deleted. So we're really excited to bring that too. But this here on the streets, taking action, you know, every single action counts. You know, every single one of you that is here today are heroes, as far as I'm concerned, because you are standing up. You're standing up for people's freedoms and people's lives, you know. As far like, I'm just grateful, because I'm here, you know, trying to help as many people as I can, but I'm also here as a mother, you know, of 4 children. And I want a bright and happy and free future for my children. And so each and every one of you that's here today is helping my children, as I'm hoping to help yours as well. So, and I love that. I love the community spirit. I love the fact that we're coming together as one and we all care about each other. So thank you all for being here today, and I'll leave it there. Thank you.